If you're not growing on YouTube and you don't have creativity to like stand out with your thumbnails, I'm going to show you a new proven plug and play method to get views on the platform. I literally just used this system to get almost 100K views. There's too many examples of people using this and exploding on YouTube, so I'm just going to like scroll through them real quick. So this thumbnail guide is going to be the only thumbnail guide you will need in 2025. It takes no creativity and you can literally just plug it in and use it today after watching this video. So without further ado, let me show you how to make thumbnails that actually get views with literally zero work. This is going to be a doozy. So let's just start with why you're not getting views, why you're wasting time making videos, and why nothing you do, even though you're copying what already works, doesn't work for your own channel. Well, most YouTube channels, believe it or not, I definitely believe it after talking to probably over 1,000 YouTube channels at this point, most of them fail because they just do not stand out, right? So think about this. Let's say there is a niche of pineapples. If everyone makes a video with the same sort of pineapple as their thumbnail, none of these pineapples stand out. So now I want you to imagine your own niche in this situation. You're probably making the same kind of thumbnail, just like the Mr. Pineapple niche that we're looking at right now. This could probably be your thumbnail right about now with your latest video. And the reason why it's not getting views is because everyone else is making thumbnails exactly like yours. So when you make thumbnails that look like everyone else in your niche, people are just not going to click yours because there's channels that are like 100 times bigger than you that they can watch instead. So what makes you more special than the person with 100,000 subscribers making the same kind of video as you? They have a bigger audience than you, they have more social proof than you, and they just look more trustworthy to watch rather than you, simply because you're just making the same kind of thumbnail as them. So for example, if you made a best business to build video, right, for all my B2B guys that watch my channels, what makes your thumbnail more appealing than a guy like Alex Hormozi? Especially you B2B guys making the kind of Alex Hormozi thumbnail style where it's like you're pointing to a post or like your face is right next to a post. So shout out to this guy, I forget, Brian Mark, shout out to Brian Mark, and I'm just using you as an example, but he has 11.2K subscribers, right? He has social proof, he has experience in whatever he's talking about. But here's a really big problem, and here's why this video only has 766 views, even though he has 11,000 subscribers. It's because people don't know him on a grand scale. Even if you're at 10K plus subscribers, 20K plus subscribers, and by the way, I know you're probably like under 1,000, which is okay, that you could still learn something from this video. You probably need this video more than anyone. But for these people, you can't get away with the same thumbnail style because people just don't know you. So for his example, everyone's gonna watch Alex Hormozi instead because he has more subscribers, he has more social proof, he has more experience, he has more authority, and people know him and people like the brand Alex Hormozi. It's like making your own burger stand and competing with McDonald's. More people are going to go to McDonald's because you are just so small, and McDonald's is like a fucking ginormous company, right? So the number one golden rule on YouTube is standing out, and you just can't afford to do what everyone else is doing because you're just not gonna go anywhere. You're gonna waste years, you're gonna make video after video, and you're never going to get views, subscribers, money, anything on YouTube because you just don't stand out. So this is literally you right now. I guarantee you go to your latest video, it's probably the same kind of thumbnail that everyone else is making. So if you don't stand out, you'll never grow because people will also assume that the thumbnail doesn't have new information that they want. So when you make thumbnails kind of like the same, let's stick with the business niche here, right? If you make thumbnails that are like, oh, you know, I invested $10 a day, oh, the best business to build, oh, you know, business model, no BS guide. Well, guess what? They look exactly the same as the other 10,000 videos there are. And also, there are people with millions of subscribers that are competing with you. Now look at this guy, for example. This is Mike from Sell Your Service. He made a video called, if you need to make $5,000 in 7 days, watch this. And the thumbnail slightly stands out. And guess what? This video has 180,000 views because people assume that there's new information that they don't know yet. The thumbnail looks different, and that's why it got 180,000 views, while these guys have less than fucking 800 views. When you learn how to stand out, you get rewarded insanely. So once you start standing out, people will start to click because they assume you have new information they haven't heard before, okay? But there are some good news and some bad news, and let me remind you, this isn't just for the fucking business niche. This is for, like, you could be a Minecraft channel and you can use this, right? You can be a friggin' sewing channel, you can use this. You can be in the anime review niche, like anything, like literally anything, you can use this system. But here's some good news and some bad news, right? The bad news is that standing out on YouTube and making thumbnails takes years to master. There's a lot of trial and error, and there's a lot of time being spent gambling on new thumbnail ideas, right? But here's some good news, and this is kind of where all you guys click the video for. The good news is that I found a thumbnail creation method that takes zero creativity and time, and you can implement it today after this video. And it's called the plug and play database because you can literally just plug and play this with your next video, right? And I actually use this method. You already know I got 100K views with this method, and I have 19,000 subscribers, while my competitors have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, right? So how do you use the plug and play method? So step number one is you're gonna find the big channels in your niche, and you're gonna create a collage of your competitors' thumbnails. So you can store them in like a Miro, a Discord, or a Photoshop, etc. I personally like Miro. So now, once you have this collage, you know who you're competing with, and in order to get views, you need to stand out from these guys. So for example, I just gave you like a little thing right here where it's like productivity channels, for example. These are videos that are made by people with hundreds of thousands, if not millions of subscribers. And in order for us to get views, let's say you're in the productivity niche, you need to fucking stand out from these people. And if you can't stand out from these people, well, you're never going to get anywhere on YouTube. It's cut and dry, simple like that. And the number one thing to do anything in YouTube and to stand out in any niche is you just gotta look different to break the pattern. So like what we're talking about right here, you need to break the pattern. So with these videos, this guy has 800,000 subscribers, this guy has 300K subscribers, this Layla Hormozi, Alex Hormozi's wife, has 400,000+ subscribers, but this guy right here only has 1.7K subscribers, and he got 100,000 views on this video. And this is what happens when you slightly break the pattern, and this is what I'm going to teach you in today's video. And I also have some resources, by the way, that you can literally use to just plug and play like a fucking Nintendo 64 Mario video game, all right? So in order to break the pattern, you just need to stand out. And in this video, I'm just going to show you how to cheat. I'm going to show you how to not be creative. This is like drop dead the simplest way to stand out on YouTube. And you just steal thumbnails. And this is how I got 100,000 views. So shout out to my man, Keon Luke. He commented on a few of these videos. And I love his channel. I love the creativity that he has. We're in completely different niches. And I use his thumbnail style to like literally explode on YouTube with -3 brain points. All I did was just see something that I thought could work, and it worked. And the reason why, and before I say this, I'm gonna say this right now, we are building a database of these thumbnails that you can just literally just use in your next video, right? But the reason why we're stealing thumbnails is because if the video did really well for a small channel, so for example, Keon Luke at the time, he was a fairly small channel, and these videos like blew up. So that means the thumbnail and title stood out from the people with millions of subscribers. And if it works for the small channels, it can work for us as well. So going back to the Keon Luke example, when I saw his thumbnails blow up while his channel had a small amount of subscribers, I'm pretty sure like sub 10K subscribers at the time, I knew that this template was a winning template, a winning thumbnail formula, because it worked for such a small channel. So it will work for us as well. And plus, we're stealing from thumbnails completely different from our niche, so they won't really care if you steal the thumbnail. It's like stealing a cup of water from a fish that's in the ocean, right? Like that little fish has enough water for a million lifetimes, right? So look, it makes us stand out even more as well because we're taking from niches completely different than ours. So we just stand out, like simple as that, right? So how do you find good thumbnails to steal? And how do you make this database? Step number one is you just find videos that did good for small channels, right? Less than 10K subscribers, of course, because once we find these thumbnails that work good for people with less than 10K subscribers, we know it's going to work for our own channel. And number 2 is just collect them in a database. So I prefer Miro. And if you want my 110 plus thumbnail database of winning thumbnails, you can literally grab them for free in the link in the description. Like it's literally for free. Like you just give me your fucking email. Obviously I'm going to email you, but it's free and you get 110 plus winning thumbnails. So if you just want to skip this work and go negative brain power and just get it for free, just click the link in the description. So now let's get into the best way to find these videos, and I'm just going to switch over to my desktop and I'm going to just do it live for you. All right, so the easiest way to find thumbnails for your thumbnail database is literally just the homepage and also a little thing called new to you and recently uploaded. So first of all, you want a database where you can store these thumbnails. Like I said, you can actually grab this whole database, and I'm going to currently update it as we speak, down in the link in the description below for absolutely free. So we're going to add on to this thumbnail database, and we're just going to find thumbnails that work good for small channels, or just thumbnails that we find that are really interesting. So we're going to go to recently uploaded, and we're just going to continue to scroll until we find something. Okay, I just found this video right here, and this channel is actually pretty big, but I do like this thumbnail, and I think we can use this especially in a different niche. So I'm going to copy this link, go to our thumbnail database, which you can get in the link in the description below, and just literally drop it down below. So Control V to paste it, and then we added a thumbnail. Now we're going to continue doing this. So I clicked new to you to find more videos, and I found this one video from this guy with 47K subscribers, but look at this video right here. It got 306,000 views, how I turned my iPhone into a productivity machine. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to put it right into the database. So I'm going to put this under productivity. I'm also going to take the Keon Luke example, and we're going to use this to remake that popular video I made that almost has 100K views. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it right into other. Now the second way to find these winning thumbnails is literally just searching things up in the search bar. Now, if you don't know what to search, you can search quite literally anything. But if you want some extra help, well, you just go on deepseek.com. This is like a new AI thing. And all I said was, give me 20 to 30 random YouTube niches that have viral videos. Go more in depth on some search terms from these niches. And I just picked a random one. It was in language and learning, education and learning. And one of the search terms was learn a language fast. So all I did was just copy this, throw it in here, and then I found a channel with a low amount of views right here. Obviously a little bit more than 10K, but still the same thing applies because this video has 600,000 views. Learn any language fast for the rest of your life. And the reason why the thumbnail did good was because it just creates that curiosity. So this is something you can either study from or literally plug and play and steal for your own niche. So we're gonna copy this and then throw it into the thumbnail database. We're just gonna plop it into productivity. Now let's keep going. I found this one thumbnail that was like fucking insane. Let me just find it real quick. It went away from my algorithm, so I just searched it up. How I learned Norwegian on my own. And it was just a simple girl in the thumbnail with text going from 0 to B2. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to throw it right into productivity. Or actually, I'm going to throw it into other. Now, one of my favorite places to take inspiration from is in the self-improvement niche for some ungodly reason. So I just searched up self-improvement. I found this video right here with 12.5K subscribers from Improve Now, the world's shortest self-improvement course. So I'm just going to take this and just throw it into other. And I'm just going to keep going until I find something new. This one right here, 35K subs, what focusing on yourself actually looks like and how to do it. And it has 85K views. It's a 55x multiplier on vidIQ. I'm going to grab that as well. And I'm just going to keep plugging and playing these thumbnails. This one right here is 16.3K subscribers, 700,000 views. I'm going to use that as well. I'm going to throw it into other. And I'm just going to continue building this thumbnail database simply just by searching up random keywords and just taking from people that have gotten hundreds of thousands of views. This one right here, Inspire Within, 41K views. I'm going to throw it right into other as well. And I'm going to continue doing this to build my thumbnail database. Okay, so now you have hundreds of thumbnails you can literally just cherry pick and choose. Now you can completely stand out from your niche. This is going to cause people to assume that you have new information when you plug and play these new thumbnails that you collected, simply because, dude, your thumbnail is different and it slightly or majorly breaks the pattern like our guy John Allington here. So let me show you exactly how to use the plug and play thumbnail database, and I'm actually going to create a thumbnail for you live on this video. Let's get into it. Okay, so with this thumbnail database, we're gonna recreate this thumbnail right here, which actually got me like almost 100,000 views on this video right here, and as well as Vil with a 1 out of 10 with the same exact thumbnail template. So I'm gonna show you exactly step by step how I'd make a thumbnail like this. It's super simple. So number one thing is we're gonna just screenshot it just so we can have it for reference. I usually like to use the snipping tool just to take this and then throw it into Photoshop just for reference right here. And I can literally just put it like right here and just call it like reference. And now it's time to build this thumbnail, which got me 100,000 views. So number one thing is the easiest thing right now is probably just the text. So we're just gonna put text, press T, and just type in world's fastest guide. Bang. And obviously I know you're probably not in the YouTube growth niche, but you can just take this with a grain of salt and use it to your own advantage. So we're gonna use this, and now obviously we have some images here that we need, and then what we're gonna do is just get these images right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go on YouTube, go to YouTube Studio, and this is how I make my thumbnails, by the way. We go to content or analytics, sorry. And then we're just gonna freaking zoom in. What I did right there was control and then scroll wheel. So we just zoom right in so we can get a high quality screenshot of this right here. This is what I'm looking for. So I'm just gonna go here. I'm gonna take the snipping tool like I usually do. And I'm just gonna take this whole thing. Oh, gotta cut it out. I'm just gonna take this whole thing right here. Control C, go to our thumbnail, and then Control V. Now there's a few things here we need to do to make this clean, because obviously like this looks way cleaner than this. We're gonna get rid of this 58K than usual. We're just gonna hide the reference right here. We're gonna get rid of this 58K more than usual. And then now we have this right here. And obviously this doesn't look so good, but I'm gonna show you a secret that I used, and a lot of people can actually use this too, not just the YouTube growth niche. We're gonna go here to the rectangle, and then we're just gonna make a rectangle. Now we're gonna put it over here, hold shift so we can like freeform it, and we're just gonna make it like that. And we're gonna put our original layer on top of it and just center it like that. Now it's looking a bit better, but we can make these circular just like this right here. And it's really simple. All you gotta do is go to this rectangle, scroll down, and you'll see these like 4 little corners. Grab one and just go to the right a little bit. And there you go. It's as simple as that. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna hold these two. So we're gonna hold shift, click the both of them, press Control E, or we can just go back and then do convert to smart object. And now we have our stats. Now, I usually like to make this a little bit more juicy, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this green arrow pop out like crazy. So we're gonna take this tool right here, the selection brush tool. We're gonna make it the same size as the green arrow. Now there's multiple ways you can do this, but this is just how I do it. Select that. It's not correct. We gotta make it correct here. Take some fiddling around. Yep, there we go. Press V, Control C, Control V. And now we have a separate thing. So all we're gonna do is, first of all, make this a smart object. Name this glowing up arrow. Then we're gonna double click on this and add an outer glow. And I'm gonna crank it up a little bit. And the trick to this actually, and we're gonna make this green as well, because why would we not make it green? The trick to this is to add a little bit of noise, because without noise, it just like glows like that. But when you add a little bit of noise, it just pops out that much more. And that's it. Actually, one thing we can do is we can press Control L and use this arrow right here and just bump it up. So we make it really bright, and then we can put this a little bit to the right. So the dark becomes a little darker. So now it like really sticks out. So look at this, right? Without the effects. And then with the glow, or with the levels, and then with the glow, it just pops out like that much more. And that is essentially it. We could just like mess around with this, but we're not gonna do anything else. We're gonna put this in a folder, and we're gonna name this stats. And basically like this is just our whole stats. So we're gonna make this a little bit more like there. And then now we need our chill guy, obviously, like our little chill guy. And you know, you want to hear the funniest part about this? This is literally AI. Like no one has made this. This is a fucking AI. So all I did was go to image creator, and this is Bing AI, by the way. So you just like make a free account for Bing AI, and then you can just write down anything. So I tried to like recreate it, but it just kind of came out bad. But really the whole thing is just about like retrying the prompt until you get something cool. So as you see, I make a bunch of AI stuff. And actually my free course, the background was from AI, which I thought was actually beautiful. Like this is what I made. But basically just take AI, make this little chill Pepe thing, and then you can drag and drop here. So I'm literally just gonna drag and drop this right here and put it right there. And then we're gonna align these two like that. And then this needs to be a little bit darker. So I'm gonna make this just a bit more darker. And that's literally it. This is the thumbnail that got me 100,000 views simply because I just took from my thumbnail database. And by the way, which is freaking free. If you just click the link in the description below, you can just grab it for free and you can bookmark it. And I constantly update this, so you're just gonna get all the thumbnails that I use for inspiration. But yeah, it's as simple as that. And all you gotta do is just continue making thumbnails and just pretty much apply the thumbnails in your thumbnail database to your own niche if it makes sense. Now, a lot of these thumbnails that you make, even if you copy from the plug and play database, is simply not gonna work unless you actually use it, and unless that, what I'm trying to say is, as long as your audience understands what the thumbnail is about, you stand out completely. Now, here's the thing, right? You don't just make this thumbnail. Like if you're watching this video and then you're thinking, oh, let me copy this exact same thumbnail style, and let me copy this Pepe the Frog, and let me copy what he did. It's not gonna work because it's already been done before. Even though this is a plug and play database, you need to use some creativity and really try to like figure out what works in your niche and what doesn't. So let's go back to Vill's example. He got a 1 out of 10 and he got 2 new leads from this video in 6 hours, okay? Now, look at this thumbnail. Like it's completely different from mine, and yet it got views. It's a 1 out of 10 and it got him 2 new leads. How to generate leads from YouTube in 89 seconds. It just looks different than this. So even though you're copying, like you still need to look a bit unique and you need to look different, because if you don't, well, you're just doing what I've been telling you not to do this whole video, which is copy other people and like be the same. So you need to be unique. Use this thumbnail database as like an example and as a framework to just like make something cool and make something unique. So this was the thumbnail course. This is the only thumbnail guide that you need in 2025. You're basically going to use this until you become really creative and you know like what YouTube wants and what your audience wants. So use this until you just become a master at thumbnails. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you get your next 100,000 views from this video. Peace.